Good morning. Wait for it to do its thing. Okay, you know what? I think it's probably live. Oh, there we go. All right, good morning and welcome to Tuesday, the 14th of July. All right, so how are you feeling? This new moon in Cancer, we've got all the feels, and I don't know about you, but it is absolutely freezing. And so, yes, I do just want to wrap myself up in a blanket or in a jumper and just chill out, like come home, have that feeling of coming home to yourself. All right, actually, I forgot to do this so I can see you guys. All right, there we go. All right, so now this morning, it could be like maybe off to a little bit of a restricted start. Overall, this new moon hasn't got any really negative sort of attachments. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Helen. How are you? All right, so yeah, 8 a.m. we had the moon square Saturn. Good morning, Julie. And I think that is just another I don't really want to get started type of vibe. But again, it is past now, it's 8:30. So, again, I just think, today we're just like, we want to be in the good feels, all right? Whether that is, expressing your love to your kids and family. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Christy. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. I'm making cake, all right? I feel like I'm nurturing all these people here having their breakfast, and I'm really feeling that, let me just make you feel good vibes. All right, so I'll just read the words. Deep in the feels. All right, do you feel like staying home and wrapping yourself in a blanket to just chill? Good morning, Cara. Maybe the realizations are hitting fast and hard, and vulnerability is creeping in, causing you to question many things. Set yourself up with thoughts of, I am safe and all is well. The voices in your mind are at your command, so be gentle and listen and act with an open heart. All right, now I've been talking to quite a few people lately, and the voices in your head. Good morning, Louise. All right, cheers, everyone. And yes, the voices in our head are especially loud right now. Mars is still in Gemini, Uranus is still there. But like I said, the realizations that we're feeling, because we're actually allowing ourselves to go into the awareness of what's happening around us. All right, so yesterday I had an experience with family, and this was me leaning back on the wall, just watching it all unfold, choosing not to get engaged in the argument I could see that they wanted to draw me into. And I was like, no, not going to play. You know what? I'm old enough and wise enough to see that this is just a pattern that is not mine, that I don't agree with, and that I really don't want to engage in. So I didn't, all right? And so I wonder if you're having the same sort of experience where you can just choose not to, all right? So again, realizations that are happening right now are just very strong. Now at 9 a.m., why did I write? Okay, at 9 a.m., oh, maybe that's Mars. Sorry, Mars in conjunct Pluto. Let me just double check, ladies, because it could be Venus, it could be Mars. I think that it is Mars. Mars now. No, it was Venus. All right, no, see, that was yesterday. All right, anyway. Yesterday I was talking about Venus making those choices, all right? So where she had between 2 and 6, there was, she was making adjustments to the things that she's willing to give her energy to, the things that she's willing to believe in and fight for, all right? So there's that in conjunct to Neptune in Aries, but it was also Pluto in Aquarius, all right? So how can we transmute this energy into something that is going to be better for ourselves in the long run, all right? So again, I don't know why I've written that there, but it makes sense. We are still choosing where we're going to put our energy. What do we want to do? We don't have to keep playing the same game. All right, so again, this is Cancer full moon. Like I said though, There's no, that square to Saturn is gone, but I think that was more of a can't be bothered, don't want to get out of bed. Good morning, Sally. So now at the new moon is at 7:42 p.m. and at 4:30 we do have the moon conjunct Mercury. All right, so again, we had the Kazemi yesterday at 11:11. Again, those realizations and vulnerabilities and choices and awarenesses. So 4:30, maybe something gets reinforced, maybe some sort of thought, because Mercury is still retrograde. You're just making the connections. And then, again, choose your strength, choose your way. All right, so now, I was having an interesting conversation with Elizabeth yesterday, and it made me realize the difference between writing your intentions prior to the new moon, because I felt like, so if you're doing it prior to the new moon, it's more of a really deep intrinsic awareness that you want to let go of these patterns of behavior or this type of thing. But if you do it after the full moon, all right, so 8 hours either side, it's more of a, I'm planting these seeds of intention because this is a new thing that I want. And it's same, but different, if you know what I mean. Like the seed that you're addressing prior to the new moon is more of a, this seed is already there. I don't know how to explain it any other way, but that's just my take on it. If you're in the awareness that this is something that you are releasing specifically, I would do it between 11 and 7:30, or say 12 and 7. But then if you're doing that after, like this is a new habit or tradition I want to form, then I would do it between that 7 or like after 7:42 all the way through to, I don't know, 3 in the morning, but who's awake then? Actually, I was awake at 4 in the morning. This morning I got up and I was like, old chipper, got it. I started at 6:45, but I was like up and ready at 4. So I'm, still bright and bubbly. But anyway, how does that feel for you guys? Like, does that make sense? Is this where you're at? And that's pretty much like this basket. Good morning, Barbara, how are you? This basket configuration that's happening as well. So this week and next week is when all of these exact aspects are starting to play out. So now I've been listening to quite a few different types of astrologers, and S.J. Anderson is one that I'm loving at the moment, and he's talking about this is actually the upswing. All right, this is where society, we're getting to that point, and it's like we can't continue to justify or allow the fuckery that's going on around us to continue. All right, so it's not going to be an instant fix or an instant change, but from this point onwards into 2030, which is still only like 3.5 years away, we're on an upswing. All right, so, all of the stuff that we can see right now, take it to heart that things are actually going to be looking better and are on the way up. So that's a social thing. It's more of the collective around us. But if you just apply that to yourself and you're in a situation which is hard and weighs on your mind, and you're trying to sort of get yourself out of it, then maybe this is where you are just like, all right, that is what I want. I am willing to fight for that. I am going to make these adjustments, and I'm just going to continue to try. Oh, always up through the night. Oh. I was hoping that the menopause insomnia was going to stop one day, Barbara. All right. So, and ultimately, guys, I just want to reinforce the fact that, if you are feeling vulnerable, just that I am safe and all is well. All right. Don't allow, like I was saying, that little story of what happened last night. I was literally just leaning against the wall, choosing not to engage. All right. You do not have to. You can make choices. If there's other things in your head that you're wanting to change, And you know, like if we're talking about addictions or, you know, again, just past patterns of behavior, you know, we got into a certain pattern because we wanted to escape a certain thing. So when we're in this and it's such an ingrained pattern, think of those neural pathways. Good morning, Simone. How are you? You know, we're using all of our tools, all right? All of us have a very full and vast spiritual basket of tools, of personal development tools. So whether it's engaging in deep breathing or journaling or insert your own method of change here, now is the time where you're like, I am feeling vulnerable. And, you know, maybe your inner child, there's that cancer. Maybe your inner child really just does need this version of yourself to stand up for her, all right, or him, depending on who you are. But I don't know, there is so much about our inner child right now, and looking back on those phases of life where the damage was done, or where where that pattern began. All right, so again, just love yourself, guys. And if you have a problem, or not a problem, but if you have resistance in saying, you know, like, I wholeheartedly love who I am right now, and I forgive myself for all the things that I've done in the past that I didn't know were wrong at the time, or not in my best interest at the time. Trying to use really gentle words where, you know, when there is no blame and shame. Life is just a series of events that progress us to higher and higher levels. So yeah, I am safe and all is well. All right. So those new moon intentions, for what I think, you know, if you're doing it before 7 a.m., it's that acknowledgement of a seed that is just planted there, all right? It's already there, and you're like, no, I want to release this seed because post new moon, I'm planting a whole new seed of intention, because I see that the forest I have grown in previous new moons, not quite the forest that I'm after right now, you know, like they were all blah blah, and I want blah blah. I don't know, you know. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, let's draw a card to see what that says. All right. So now, by the time I see you tomorrow, the moon would have just moved into Leo. So again, just embrace the feelings that you have. Be as gentle as you can. You know, treat yourself as you would any child, grandchild, or, you know, anybody else that you love and admire and care for deeply, because, you know, this is the only vessel that you have this lifetime, all right? And you know, those thoughts that we have inside us that cause the damage, you know, like the self-deprecating thoughts that create cancers and illness and dis-ease. These are the things that we're addressing, because that's back then. This is not now. The new version that wants a bright new future is compassionate and empathetic and loves everything about you that you have to offer. So, all right, this one. Oh, we got two. Perfect. I did the best that I could with the knowledge and resources that I had at the time. Thank you, Sally. That is beautiful. And look at this. Here we are. We're in the middle. And look at that. That's that new moon time. You know, are you looking at the past thoughts, or are you engaging and embracing the future thoughts? Because why? Because we have all the things that we need at our disposal. All right. So, you know, all the cups in our future potentials, they're all full. They're all choices that we can just engage in. So yeah, make the beautiful choice. Know that your future is full of bright opportunities, and do your best. Do your best. That's it. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.